Human ships challenged the Galactic
have a
Empire.
hand
The galaxy was threatened. Yet
to
humans
know
laughed.
what is
The
that.
massive
I
crystal
don't
dome
even
of the
have
Galactic
a
Council shook
penis,
as
and
another
I
report
know
came
what
in.
condom
Emperor
is.
Vyexthal's forearms trembled as he read
Or
the
like
datapad.
any
Another star system had
thing
vanished.
for
Not
penis.
destroyed, not conquered, simply gone, as if it had never existed at
Okay.
all. How many does that make?
It's a
Asked Admiral Kissara,
it's a
her scaled face showing the
general
exhaustion
knowledge.
they all felt. 47 systems in the past month, replied the Emperor. His voice carried across the vast chamber where representatives from dozens of species
You
sat in worried
cannot
silence.
use that
The Devourers are
excuse.
moving faster than our worst predictions. The Devourers. Even the name made the assembled aliens shiver. Ancient things from beyond the galaxy's edge,
Yeah,
older than their
pala.
oldest civilizations. They consumed everything, planets, stars, space itself. Where they passed, nothing remained. Not even the memory of what had been there. Counselor Zenthak from the Rigel Consortium stood up on his 6 legs. Our quantum defense grids cannot even slow them down. They eat our reality anchors like snacks.
I don't
What
even
hope do we
have
have?
ball to know
None, said
what
Fleet Commander
Google
Thossel bluntly.
is.
I lost 12 dreadnoughts yesterday. Ships that could crack moons. They lasted 30 seconds against one small Devourer scout. The Emperor looked around the
Okay,
chamber.
what is
Fear
this
filled
one?
every face. From the
This
crystalline
one is
methanes to the energy
about
beings of
the
Sector 9,
Queen.
the greatest military force in galactic
It's
history was
about,
helpless against these creatures. Perhaps, said a small voice from the
some
back,
kind of
we
little
should consider
farmer
evacuation to other
stuff.
galaxies. With what ships? Snapped Admiral Kessera. Half our fleet is gone. The other half is barely holding the line at the nexus point. We have maybe 3 cycles before they reach the core
Maybe we
worlds.
have some snack
Emperor
too.
Vaxthul
Kinda
raised one of his
smell
arms
good.
for silence. Are there no other
Like
options?
good food.
No weapons we have not tried? No allies we have not called? The chamber fell quiet. Then slowly Admiral Kissara spoke up. There is one possibility, but it seems desperate. Everything is desperate now, the Emperor said. Speak. The humans, she said. Several counselors made disgusted noises. I know. They are primitive. But our reports say they are stubborn. Counselor Zenthak laughed, a sound like breaking glass. The humans? Those creatures who barely left their own planet?
But you know, people
They do not
have
even
been
have proper
talking
faster than
about
light travel.
that this
They are children
kind of
playing with
war
chemical
of
rockets.
Thailand and Cambodia
Children who somehow survived
is
ice
one
ages,
of the
plagues, and
most
multiple
stupid
extinction
war
events on their death
ever.
world, Admiral Kissara
and
pointed
like
out.
useless
Children who went to war with their
war.
own planet and won.
Don't give
What could they
anyone
possibly do
any
that our advanced fleets
benefit,
could not?
and
Asked another
probably
counselor.
it's only
I do not know, the
because
Admiral
to
admitted,
distract people
but they have
from
something
the
we seem to have
fucking
lost. They do not give up, ever,
Like
even when they should. Emperor Vyexthul considered this.
gambling.
The humans
Not
had been
gambling.
discovered only recently. In a backwater spiral arm nobody important visited.
It's
Their
true
planet was a
distract
nightmare of natural
people
disasters,
from
poisonous
the
creatures,
real
and deadly weather.
problem behind
Yet somehow they
that,
thrived there.
which
Their technology
is
was primitive, but they used it in
the
ways that made no sense to
game
galactic
center.
science. They are not even a proper civilization,
It's
protested
like
Counselor
they're
Vexen.
not like
They have hundreds of
Cambodia
separate
and a
governments.
lot of
They fight constant
Thailand
wars among
politics
themselves. They are chaos.
are
Yes, said
deeply
Admiral Kissara.
involved with
Maybe that is
this
exactly what we
big
need. The Emperor was
scam
quiet for a
business
long moment.
thing.
Outside the dome, another priority
There
alert flashed.
are both
Another system had gone
benefit
dark.
from it, for
Another
sure,
billion lives had simply
100%.
stopped existing. How long to reach their homeworld? He asked finally.
Like,
2 standard
and
days with
now
our
they're
fastest
trying to,
diplomatic
like,
ship,
distract
Admiral Kessara
people
replied.
from the,
And how long
like,
before the Devourers
scamming
reach the core
problem?
systems? Fleet Commander Thossel
To
checked his
like,
tactical
oh,
display.
we're just
At current speed,
fighting
4
a
days.
little
Maybe
bit
5
and
if we
blah,
can
blah,
slow them
blah.
at the
It's
outer
just like
defenses. The Emperor stood up to his full height.
distraction.
His decision would either save the galaxy or waste precious time they did not have.
Understand.
But doing nothing was certain death.
You
Send
believe
Ambassador
so?
Thexion to Earth, he commanded. Full diplomatic priority. Tell him to request military aid from the humans. Military aid? Counselor Zenthak sputtered.
I do believe
From creatures who
so.
fight with chemical
I
explosives?
think a lot of
If our reality-bending
political
weapons
is
cannot stop the Devourers,
really
perhaps chemical
big
explosives are
involved
exactly
with
what we
this
need.
scam
The
thing,
Emperor
and they
said.
get a lot of
The universe has
billion
gone insane.
money from that.
Maybe insane problems need insane solutions. And if the humans refuse? Asked Admiral Kessara. Emperor Vyexthul looked at the latest casualty
Thank
reports.
you for the
Whole
plus
fleets gone.
one, Frollo.
Entire civilizations erased. The greatest empire in galactic history was dying, and they were asking for help from primitive aliens who had not even unified their own planet. Then we die knowing we tried everything, he said simply. Within an hour, the diplomatic ship Serene Wisdom was racing toward the Sol system. Ambassador Thexion prepared his translation software and reviewed the limited files on human culture. What he read made little sense. Humans seem to treat serious problems as jokes and impossible challenges as minor inconveniences. They had a saying that particularly confused him. When the going gets tough, the tough get going. The translation software could not properly explain what getting going meant in this context. Another human phrase puzzled him even more. Hold my beer and watch this. Every time humans said this, according to the reports, they did something completely insane that somehow worked. Ambassador Thexion hoped he would not need to understand such strange expressions. He was going to ask for help from a species that thought chemical rockets were adequate. Transportation and duct tape was a valid engineering material. But as he watched another star system vanish from the navigation charts, he decided that maybe strange was exactly what they needed. Back in the council chamber, Emperor Vaxthal stared at the tactical display. Red zones spread across the galaxy like a disease. The Devourers were not just consuming matter and energy, they were eating space-time itself. Reality ended where they passed. Sir, reported a young officer, we are receiving transmission from the Nexus Point Defense Fleet. Put it through. Fleet Commander Thossel's image appeared, his ship shaking from weapons fire. The outer defense line is breaking. We cannot hold them much longer. These things, they do not just destroy our ships, they unmake them, as if they never existed. Fall back to the secondary line, the Emperor ordered. Buy us as much time as you can. Understood. But sir, whatever you are planning, you better do it fast. These things learn, they adapt. Every weapon we use, they counter faster the next time. The transmission ended as another ship simply vanished from the tactical display. Emperor Vaxthal closed his eyes and tried not to think about the billions of lives depending on his desperate gamble. Somewhere in the void between galaxies, ancient horrors that ate reality were coming for everything he had sworn to protect him. His only hope was a species of primitive aliens who had never faced anything worse than their own planet trying to kill them. He wondered if that would be enough. In the depths of space, the Serene Wisdom jumped to faster than light speed, carrying the galaxy's last desperate message toward a small blue world that had never heard of the Galactic Empire. The fate of everything now rested with the humans. The Emperor just hoped they would not laugh at the request. Human ships challenged the Galactic Empire. The galaxy was threatened. Yet humans laughed. The Serene Wisdom dropped out of faster-than-light travel at the edge of the Sol system. Ambassador Thexion stared at his screens in confusion. This system made no sense according to galactic standards. The third planet from the star was obviously the inhabited one. It glowed with the lights of civilization and buzzed with radio signals. But those signals were chaos. Hundreds of different languages, thousands of separate transmission sources, and what appeared to be constant arguments between different groups. Navigator, he called to his aide, are we certain the species achieved spaceflight? I see no orbital cities, no ring habitats, no sign of proper space civilization. Sir, they have several primitive stations in orbit and some kind of construction on their moon. But you are right, it is very basic. Chemical rockets and metal hulls. Ambassador Thexion shook his head. This was their great hope? A species that barely managed to leave their own gravity well? Sir, the navigator continued, I am reading massive energy signatures from the planet's surface. Nuclear weapons, thousands of them. Weapons pointed at space? The ambassador asked hopefully. No, sir, pointed at each other. The ambassador felt his heart sink. Not only were the humans primitive, they were actively trying to destroy themselves. This was worse than the intelligence reports had suggested. Open communications, he ordered. Broad-spectrum transmission to their planetary governments. Which governments, sir? I am detecting 195 separate political entities. All of them. The ambassador composed himself and began the formal first contact protocol. People of Earth, this is Ambassador Thexion of the Galactic Empire. We come in peace seeking urgent discussion with your leaders about a matter of galactic security. The response was immediate and chaotic. Hundreds of
I
different
worked
voices
with a
started talking at
company
once in dozens of
before.
languages. Some seemed excited, others suspicious, and several were apparently trying to sell him something. After 2 hours of confusion, a single voice cut through the noise with what the translator called impressive profanity. The voice belonged to someone called President Sarah Chen of something called the United Earth Defense Coalition. Right. Everyone shut up for 5 minutes so we can figure out what these aliens actually want, President Chen said. This is Sarah Chen speaking for the humans. At least the ones who voted for me. The others can speak for themselves if they want. Ambassador Thexion was completely lost. President Chen, we require urgent discussion with your planetary government about an existential threat to the galaxy. Which one? She asked. Excuse me? Which existential threat? We have climate change,
วันนี้
asteroid
ต้อน
impacts,
รับทุกท่าน
supervolcanoes,
นะคะ
gamma ray bursts, solar flares,
ประจำหน้า
and my
ที่ทอง
mother-in-law visiting
นะ
next
คะ
week.
กับบูธ
You
ข
will
อง
need
บ
to be
ริษั
more
ท
specific.
OCC
The ambassador
นะ
stared
คะ
at his
วัน
screen.
นี้
The humans were treating existential threats as routine problems. Madam President, ancient entities from beyond the galaxy are consuming entire star systems. Reality itself is being devoured. There was a pause. Then President Chen started laughing.
I don't
Oh,
know
is that
why.
all? And here I thought it was something serious. You do not understand, the ambassador said desperately. These beings consume matter, energy, space, and
Is
time.
that when
Where
the
they pass,
old
nothing
age
remains. Not
start
even the
to
memory of what was
acting
there.
up?
Uh-huh, President Chen said. Sounds like Tuesday to me. How fast do they move? How fast? The ambassador was completely confused by this response. They advance at approximately 1 light year per day. Okay, so we have time to work with. What is their energy source? We do not know. They seem to feed on reality itself. Right. Have you tried turning them off and on again? What? You know, basic troubleshooting. Unplug them, wait 10 seconds, plug them back in. Works for most problems. Ambassador Thexion felt like his brain was melting. The humans were treating cosmic horror like a technical support issue. These entities have destroyed fleets that could shatter planets, he said. Our most advanced weapons cannot even slow them down. What kind of weapons? Asked a new voice. This one identified itself as General Rodriguez from something called the Space Force. Quantum disruptors, reality anchors, temporal displacers, gravity weapons that can collapse stars. Fancy, General Rodriguez said. What about kinetic weapons? Kinetic. Throwing things at them? Yeah, really fast things.
When you get
Really
a
hard
flood
things.
deal,
Big
it's like
exploding
good
things.
luck.
Our scientists abandoned such
Let's
primitive
go
weapons millennia
buy.
ago.
Let's go buy.
Mistake, said another voice, which belonged to someone called Admiral
Maybe we
Jackson.
get something
Sometimes the old
big.
ways work best, especially when dealing with smart enemies who expect smart weapons. Ambassador Thexion was getting a headache. You want to fight
This
reality-eating
line is
cosmic horrors with
shorter.
thrown objects? Among other things, President Chen said cheerfully. Look, we appreciate you coming all this way to warn us about the space monsters. Really, we do. But here is the thing about humans, we do not give up. Ever, even when we should. But your technology is primitive compared to the Galactic Empire. So, General Rodriguez interrupted. Technology is just tools. What matters is how you use them. A hammer can build a house or crack a skull depending on the situation. You cannot seriously intend to
Because
fight
they are
beings that consume reality with chemical rockets and nuclear weapons.
They're gonna
Why
put
not?
like,
President
you
Chen
know,
asked.
when you get a
What else are we going
fresh
to do?
ping
Give up and
pong,
die? That is not really our style.
you might
The
have a
ambassador tried a different
chance
approach.
to get the
Your
big
species
one.
has not even unified your own planet. You
So,
fight constant wars among
if
yourselves.
you wanna
How
get
can you
some
possibly
big
coordinate against a
reward,
galactic
you
threat?
have to come
Oh, that is
fast.
easy, said Admiral Jackson.
You know what I'm
We stop
saying?
fighting each other and start fighting them. Nothing
Come
brings humans
fast.
together like a common enemy,
So you have
especially
a
a really
chance to
annoying
get
one.
all the
An
cool
annoying
stuff.
enemy? These beings
If
have
you
existed
come in
since
the
the dawn of
last couple
time.
days,
They
they
are cosmic
already
forces
have
beyond
left
comprehension.
something.
Yeah, well, so is my
Not
ex-wife,
enough.
and I dealt with her, General
Like
Rodriguez said.
30
Look,
baht
alien
for
guy, here's
one,
what you do
and
not
let me
understand about
get
humans.
4.
We are really good at breaking things, especially things that think they cannot be broken. But there is always risk, President Chen cut him off. That is what makes it interesting. Besides, what is the worst that could happen? We all die. The universe ends, big deal. At least we will go down swinging. Ambassador
feel
Thexion
it,
felt
I
like he was
feel
talking to insane people. You are not taking this seriously. Sure we are, Admiral Jackson
Do
said.
it.
We are just not panicking about it. Panic makes you stupid, and stupid gets you killed. Better to stay calm and think of creative ways to blow things up. This is madness. Probably President Chen agreed. But it is our madness. Tell you what, Ambassador, give us the coordinates of these devourer things and any technical data you have. We will take a look and see what we can do.
I
You will
get
help? The ambassador could hardly believe it. Of course we will help. This is our galaxy too, even if we just found out about it. Nobody eats our reality without asking
You
permission
have
first.
to help me.
But your primitive technology, we'll have to do,
Pray
General
for
Rodriguez
it,
said
Chen.
firmly. Look, we have survived ice ages, plagues,
Pray
world
for
wars,
it.
and the invention of reality television. A few cosmic horror monsters should not be too much trouble. Ambassador Thexion transmitted all the data they had on the Devourers. What he got back from the humans was terrifying. Within hours, they had plans for weapons that violated several laws of physics and at least 3 galactic treaties on ethical
If I
warfare.
win something
Humans.
good,
He reported back to the Empire. Are either the bravest species in the galaxy or the most insane? Possibly both.
what is the
Emperor Vag still
biggest?
listened to the report in amazement. They agreed to help.
Because
Yes, sir.
guys,
They
some
treated
good
the existential
are
threat to all
more
reality as what they
rich
called
than
a typical
other
Tuesday
groups,
problem.
So they might
They are mobilizing
number
something they
one
call the most ridiculous
with
armada in
more
galactic history.
efficiency than
Ridiculous
other
how?
groups.
They are mounting nuclear
Like,
weapons on
let's
mining equipment
say
and launching them with what they
this
cheerfully
is the
describe as
good of
prayer and spite. Their
the
battle plan seems to be based on something called video game logic and aggressive percussive maintenance. The Emperor was quiet for a long moment. Ambassador, are we making a terrible mistake? I do not know, sir.
What is the
But they are the only ones who did not seem afraid. In the void, the Devourers continued their advance, consuming reality one star system at a time. They had faced many species over the eons. All had fallen to despair when faced with inevitable annihilation. None had ever laughed at them before.
One number
Human ships challenged the Galactic
It's gonna be
Empire.
like A, B,
The galaxy was
C, D,
threatened.
E, F, G.
Yet humans laughed 72
So
hours
A, B,
after
C,
first
D,
contact.
E, F
Ambassador
is gonna
Thexion
be
watched
like
Earth's orbital space with growing
normal
horror and
stuff, like
fascination. The
toothpaste,
humans were mobilizing and nothing about it made sense according to
But
proper
if we
military
go like
doctrine.
spatial
Sir,
one,
reported
it
his
could be
navigator,
like
I count over 2,000 human vessels launching from the planet's surface. But sir, these are not warships.
Like
The ambassador looked at his screens and felt his brain hurt. The humans were indeed launching ships, but they appeared to be mining vessels, cargo haulers, research stations,
and
and
the
what looked
guy
like
about
modified
to
garbage
bring
trucks.
the big
All of them
one
bristled with hastily
in.
attached weapons that violated every safety regulation in galactic law. Are those nuclear warheads duct taped to asteroid miners? He asked weakly. Yes, sir.
Inside.
The humans appear to have weaponized their entire civilian space fleet using adhesive tape and what they call good intentions. On the main screen, a human ship drifted past. It was clearly a converted space station with massive engines bolted to one end and weapons mounted wherever they could fit. Painted on the side in large letters were the words, USS Absolutely Not. And below that, if you can read this, you are too close.
No
Navigator,
PS5, I
are you
don't think
detecting
so.
any unified command structure? No, sir. Each ship seems to be operating independently, but they are somehow
something
coordinating through their
like
global communication network.
washing
I am picking
machine
up thousands
and
of
that.
simultaneous conversations. The ambassador listened to the translated chatter with growing amazement. The humans were organizing their desperate fleet through what they called social media,
We can
video
do
calls,
it,
and
chat.
something called
we
memes.
Can do it,
Their battle
chat.
plans were being
We
shared
can do
through
it.
jokes
We
and sarcastic
can do
comments.
it.
One conversation particularly confused him. Hey, Bob, you got those
Yeah,
nukes
I
mounted
wonder,
yet?
right?
Yeah, but the safety systems keep complaining.
Let's see
Says
what I
attaching
want.
thermonuclear devices to mining equipment violates warranty. Turn off the safety systems. Already did. Also turned off the parts that said we needed proper training and certification. Good, what could go wrong? Famous last words, Mike. Exactly. Let's make them count. Ambassador Thexion called up the human leadership. President Chen's face appeared on screen, looking remarkably calm for someone preparing to fight cosmic horrors with improvised weapons. Madam President, I must express concern about your fleet composition. These vessels are not designed for combat. Neither were the humans who built them, she replied cheerfully. But we adapt. That is kind of our thing. Your ships appear to be held together with adhesive tape. Duct tape, she corrected.
Guy,
different.
you think how many
Duct tape is one of
chance
humanity's
I will
greatest
get the big
inventions.
one?
Right up there with the wheel and antibiotics.
This is like
But surely you have
less
proper military
than
vessels.
winning a
Sure, but they are
lottery
not
or
big
no?
enough for what we have planned.
Nah,
Besides, our
winning
military
a
thinks too much about
lottery is
rules and
more
safety. For this job, we
harder.
need people who think outside the box. What box? All of them, any box. We are basically throwing out every box we can find and making it up as we go. On his tactical display, the ambassador
Maybe
watched a human ship that appeared to be a
1%
modified oil
chance.
drilling platform. It was enormous, bristling with improvised weapons, and broadcasting what his translator could only render as death metal music at maximum volume. President Chen, what is that vessel's purpose? Oh, that is the drill baby drill. Captain Williams thought it would be funny to bring mining equipment to a space battle. Turns out he was right. We are going to mine the hell out of those devourers. Mine them? Figure of speech. We are going to poke holes in reality until something interesting happens. The ambassador felt faint. That sounds extremely dangerous. Everything interesting is dangerous. That is what makes it interesting. Another ship caught his attention. A sleek research vessel covered in sensor arrays and what looked like oversized speakers. And that one? The Science. From our Deep Space Research Division. Dr. Patel thinks he can reverse engineer devourer technology in real time during combat. During combat, best time to test new theories. High stress environment really focuses the mind. Ambassador Thexion was beginning to understand why the humans had never been conquered. They were too insane for any rational military force to predict. Sir, his navigator interrupted. The human fleet is moving toward the jump point. They are requesting coordinates for the Nexus Point battle zone. They want to join the battle immediately? President Chen nodded. No point waiting around. The sooner we get there, the sooner we can start breaking things.
By the way,
Madam President, these entities have existed since the dawn of time. Our most advanced
packing
fleets could
now.
not slow them down.
I
Are you certain about this course of action? Absolutely not, she said with a grin.
hacking to the
But that
New
has never
York,
stopped us
and
before.
I think
Besides,
I
we
need
have
to
a secret
go
weapon.
buy
What secret weapon?
a
We are too
shoe
stupid to know when we are beaten.
and
Also, spite.
winter
Never
jacket
underestimate human spite as a
and,
motivational
like,
force. The
clothes.
ambassador watched the
And
human
I
fleet
was
form
like,
up for the jump
should
to
I
faster than light
even
speed.
waste
It was the most
money
chaotic
and
military
buy the
formation he had ever
winter
seen.
jacket?
Ships of every size and
Or should
description
I
scattered across
rent
space like debris,
one?
each one unique and terrifying in its own way. One more thing,
Because
Ambassador,
if
President Chen
I,
said.
like,
You might want to warn
rent
your emperor that we do things a little differently
the
than most
jacket,
species.
it
How differently?
probably, like,
Well, for starters, we do not really believe in impossible. Also, our definition of acceptable risk might be broader than yours.
$40?
How much broader? Put it this
Because
way.
I'm making
We
a
once
rent
sent
for
people
a
to the
long
moon using
time
slide
because
rules
I
and the
don't know when
mathematical
I'm gonna
equivalent
come
of prayer.
back.
This should be easy by
But
comparison.
it's not just
The human
this
fleet
trip.
jumped
What
to
about
faster
I
than
wanna
light
go
speed in the
to
most disorganized
Harbin
formation the ambassador had
next
ever
year?
witnessed. Some
Or
ships
like
jumped early,
Hokkaido.
others late, and at least 3 had to restart
So
their
it's gonna
engines
be
after what appeared to be
2-3
technical
trips
difficulties
that I
involving
can
duct tape.
use with the winter
Yet somehow,
thing.
they all made it. Ambassador Thexion immediately
Yeah,
contacted
I can
Emperor
rent
Vaxthol.
it.
Sir, the humans are en route to the battle zone. How many ships?
If I rent
Over
it
2,000,
long
sir.
time,
But, sir,
it
they are
could
not
be
like any
maybe
fleet we have ever seen.
You should just
Explain.
buy it.
They have weaponized their civilian infrastructure and are approaching this as what they call a
And
really exciting engineering problem. Their battle
Suggest
plan
that,
appears to be based on
the-
something
the
called
shoe-
chaos theory
the
and
shoe
seeing what
that I
happens when
should
you poke
buy,
cosmic horror with a stick.
Dr. Martin.
Are you saying they have no real plan?
Like,
Oh no, sir. They have many plans. Hundreds of
guy,
them.
even
They just do
my
not agree on
ship
which
is
one to
not
use.
gonna
So they are
protect
apparently
me
going to try
from
all
the
of them at
cold,
once.
and you know how
Emperor
easy
Vaxthol was
I
quiet
get
for a long
cold.
moment. Ambassador, are we about to witness the most brilliant
Maybe
military
I
strategy
take
in
you to the
galactic history?
renting jacket
or the most
first.
spectacular
This
failure?
shit, this
I honestly
have
cannot
like
tell, sir.
80,000
Possibly both.
items to
At the Nexus
rent.
Point, Fleet Commander Thassel received word that human reinforcements were coming.
Yeah,
The surviving
and
ships
I
were
see
barely
the
holding the line
Dr.
against 3
Martin,
Devourer scouts while the main force gathered behind them.
Food is like
Human reinforcements?
$200.
He asked his tactical officer. How many ships? Over 2,000, sir.
But if it's
Finally, a
like
proper battle fleet.
good-looking
What class
fashion
vessels?
shoe, I can
Unknown,
use
sir.
this in
The
all
humans
the,
apparently do
all
not use
the
standard ship
situation
classifications.
shoe. Don't
The
need to
registry
go
lists
to the
include entries
winter.
such as Flying Brick of Doom,
It could just
definitely
have
not a
more
weapon,
than
and your
one
mom.
shoe.
Fleet Commander Thassel stared at his officer. Your mom?
Yeah.
Yes, sir. It appears to be converted civilian equipment. All of it. They are sending civilians to fight the Devourers. Sir, the humans say there is no difference between their civilians and military when it comes to breaking things. Apparently, they consider this a skill all humans possess naturally. Fleet Commander Thossel looked at his tactical display. In a few hours, he would either witness the salvation of the galaxy or the most embarrassing military disaster in recorded history. Probably both. In the depths of space, the Devourers sensed new minds approaching. Ancient intelligences that had consumed countless civilizations analyzed these newcomers and found them different. For the first time in eons, the Devourers felt something they had not experienced before.
Do you think
Confusion.
you buy from Temu
These new minds
for
did
like
not radiate fear or
$20?
despair like all
Do you
the
think
others. Instead, they seemed to be broadcasting something the Devourers could not understand. The humans were coming and they were laughing.
Stupid fashion like
Human
this.
ships
It's
challenged the galactic empire.
protecting
The galaxy was threatened.
the
Yet humans
winter.
laughed.
Okay.
Human fleet dropped out of
It's
faster than light
different.
speed at the nexus point, in the most chaotic arrival Fleet Commander
Yeah,
Thossel
it's
had
like-
ever witnessed.
Sometimes
Ships
it might
materialized
have to
across a
be
volume of space that would have
efficiency
taken a
to
proper military
helping
formation
with the
hours to
cold.
coordinate. Some came in backwards, others sideways, and at least one appeared to be spinning. Sir, reported his tactical officer, the humans are requesting battle coordinates and asking if we have any good targets for aggressive percussive maintenance. Aggressive what? I believe it translates to hitting things very hard until they break,
yeah,
sir.
I would
Commander
go
Thossel
look
looked at his screens in
Unicorn
disbelief.
first.
The human ships were unlike anything
But
in the Imperial
Unicorn may
database.
probably
A
gonna
converted
be
mining
like a
platform
lot
bristling
of
with
like
nuclear missiles,
like
a research vessel covered in sensor arrays and what appeared to be
inside
jury-rigged weapon
wearing,
systems.
you know,
Something
like,
that looked like it had started
inside,
life as a garbage truck but now mounted enough firepower to
like
level a city.
warming suit
Commander,
inside.
came a voice over the communications channel. This is Admiral Jackson of the human fleet. We are ready to engage the hostiles. Just point us at the big scary things and try to stay out of our way.
Yeah, it doesn't
Admiral Jackson, these are not ordinary hostiles. The Devourers consume reality itself. Our most advanced weapons cannot even... cosmic horror eats reality, very scary. Admiral Jackson interrupted. We got the briefing. Question is, are they solid? Solid? Can we hit them with stuff? Big, fast, exploding stuff? Fleet Commander Thossel checked his sensors. The Devourers do have physical manifestations in our reality, but good enough. All ships, this is Admiral Jackson. Remember the plan, there is no plan. Just get in there and break everything that does not look friendly. And remember, we are probably going to die, so let's make it count. The human fleet surged forward in what could charitably be called a formation. Fleet Commander Thossel watched in horror as they approached the three Devourer scouts that had been systematically destroying his remaining ships. Sir, his tactical officer reported, the humans are broadcasting something across all frequencies. What kind of transmission? Music, sir. Very loud music. My translator calls it death metal and suggests I adjust the volume for mental health purposes. On the main screen, the first human ship reached weapons range of a Devourer scout. It was the converted oil platform Drill Baby Drill, and Captain Williams immediately demonstrated why humans were considered insane by galactic standards. Instead of engaging at long range with energy weapons, he rammed his massive ship directly into the Devourer's feeding tendril, while screaming something the translator rendered as YOLO. The impact should have destroyed both ships. Instead, the Devourer recoiled in what could only be described as surprise. The ancient entity had never encountered opponents who used their own vessels as weapons. Did that human just bite a Devourer? Fleet Commander Thossel asked weakly. I believe the correct term is nom, sir, his tactical officer replied.
Look at what
Reading from the
people have been
translation
getting
software.
from this.
More human ships swarmed the Devourer scouts like angry insects. But instead of attacking in predictable patterns, they seemed to be making it up as they went along. A research vessel called Science was somehow scanning the Devourers while shooting at them, with Dr. Patel's voice echoing across the communications channel. Fascinating. Their reality manipulation fields operate on quantum frequencies I have never seen before. I am detecting massive vulnerabilities in their... The transmission cut off as his ship performed what appeared to be an impossible corkscrew maneuver to avoid a Devourer's attack. Dr. Patel, Admiral Jackson called out, "Please tell me you found something useful." Oh yes, these things are basically living math equations.
If that was
Very
a
complex
winner,
math, but
they're
still
gonna
math.
be like,
And you know what we do to math
"Whoa,
problems we do
Sal."
not like? Beat them with a stick until they give us the right answer? Exactly. But in this case, the stick is a modified mining laser, tuned to disrupt their quantum coherence field.
Water.
Another human ship, the USS
Need a
Absolutely Not,
boost.
demonstrated humanity's approach to impossible
this
odds by
show.
doing something that violated several laws of physics. Captain Santos somehow managed to reverse her ship's gravity field and use it to grab a piece of destroyed devourer and throw it at another
What do you think
devourer.
is a good
Did she just
brand
make
to
one
buy
cosmic
winter
horror
clothes?
hit another cosmic horror with itself?
Sarah,
Fleet Commander Thossel asked.
Unico.
Yes, sir. The humans call it Stop Hitting Yourself and appear to
what
find it
else?
hilarious. The battle was unlike anything in recorded military history. The humans were not following any tactical doctrine because they did not seem to have one. Instead, they were adapting in real time, learning from each engagement and immediately implementing new strategies. Sergeant Mike Williams, aboard a converted asteroid miner, discovered that the devourers were vulnerable to what he called percussive maintenance, essentially hitting them with large, heavy objects at high speed. His solution was to load his mining charges with metal debris and fire them directly into the devourer's reality manipulation fields. It is working, he reported excitedly. These things expect energy weapons and reality benders, but they do not know what to do with a big chunk of iron moving really, really fast. The human fleet began coordinating their attacks with an efficiency that amazed Fleet Commander Thossel. Despite having no central command structure, they were somehow sharing information and tactics instantaneously through their communication network. Target their quantum field generators. Dr. Patel broadcast. I found their weak spot. Where? Asked Captain Rodriguez from his weaponized garbage hauler. Everywhere. They are weak everywhere. We just have to hit them with things they do not expect. Everything we have is something they do not expect. Admiral Jackson replied. We are flying mining equipment held together with duct tape and powered by spite. The largest devourer scout, realizing it was losing the engagement, began to retreat toward the main devourer force. The humans responded in typical fashion. Oh no, you do not, Captain Williams shouted. Nobody runs away from a fight with humans. The drill baby. Drill pursued the fleeing devourer, followed by a dozen other human ships. They caught up with it just as it reached the edge of the devourer main force, a collection of entities so vast and terrifying that most species would have fled in panic. The humans accelerated. Sir, Fleet Commander Thossel's tactical officer reported. The humans are engaging the main devourer force. All of them? No, sir, just the few dozen that got there first. The rest are still fighting the scouts. A few dozen ships against hundreds of devourers. Yes, sir. They appear to be having fun. On the communications channel, human voices could be heard coordinating impossible attacks with casual efficiency. Hey, Maria, can you grab that reality eater and throw it at the big one? Sure thing, Mike. This is just like that video game where you fight the space squids. I love that game. Remember the trick where you overload their shields? Oh yeah. Dr. Patel, can you overload their quantum thingies? Already on it. Reversing the polarity on their reality anchors. This should not work according to known physics. Since when do we care about known physics? Good point. Engaging impossible maneuver in 3, 2, 1. Fleet Commander Thossel watched as the human ships performed coordinated attacks that should have been impossible. They were using their technological limitations as advantages, creating weapons and tactics that the ancient devourers had never encountered. And incredibly, impossibly, it was working. The devourers, who had consumed countless civilizations, were retreating. Not from superior firepower or advanced technology, but from opponents too crazy to follow the rules of cosmic horror. Sir, his tactical officer said quietly, I think the humans might actually win this. Fleet Commander Thossel looked at the tactical display, where human ships were chasing devourers across the battlefield while broadcasting what sounded like victory songs mixed with engineering discussions. They are not just winning, he realized. They are enjoying it. In the depths of space, the devourers experienced something they had not felt in eons: uncertainty. These new opponents defied all their calculations. How do you consume beings that treat reality like a suggestion and respond to cosmic horror with laughter? For the first time since they had awakened, the devourers began to consider retreat. The humans, meanwhile, were just getting started. Human ships challenged the Galactic Empire, The galaxy was threatened.
This will look fancy.
Yet humans
We
laughed
might
6
get
hours after the
something.
battle began. Fleet Commander Thossel received a
I'm
transmission
not
that would become
gonna-
legendary
okay,
in
see
galactic
it.
military history. Imperial Command, this is Admiral
see
Jackson of
that?
the human fleet. The
Oh,
Devourers
they
are retreating
want
beyond the
number
galactic
one.
rim. Repeat, the cosmic
Number
horror
one
monsters are
look like
running
a
away.
big stuff.
We would pursue, but Dr. Patel says chasing
Okay,
reality-eating
and there
entities
was
into
a
the void
number
between galaxies
2, 3,
violates several
4,
safety
5.
regulations.
See.
Admiral Jackson,
Okay, that
Fleet
2,
Commander
3, 4,
Thossel
5
replied, hardly
might
believing his
not
own
so
words.
fancy.
Are you saying you have defeated the
We're looking
Devourers?
for number
Defeated
one,
is a strong
okay?
word. Let's say we convinced them
What
that eating
is
our
that
galaxy was
thing?
more trouble than it was worth. Turns out ancient cosmic entities do not like having their math homework corrected with explosives.
Ooh,
The
they
battlefield
even
around the
have,
Nexus
like,
Point looked like no military engagement in
you know
recorded
the
history.
thing that,
Debris from Devourer entities drifted alongside human ships that were
suck the dust.
somehow still functional
What do you
despite
call that
being held
thing?
together with what appeared to be duct tape and prayer Captain Williams
that
aboard the
thing
drill
is
baby drill was
fancy.
giving a damage
And
report
there's
that perfectly
a
captured
TV.
the human approach to warfare. We have hull breaches on decks 3 through 7. The artificial gravity is working backwards. Our main reactor is held together with cable ties, and somehow we are going faster than we were when we started. All in all,
Oh
a
my
typical
God,
Tuesday.
if I
Dr.
get a
Patel's
TV
research vessel
and
Science
stream a
had
little bit
managed something that
earlier,
galactic
okay,
scientists
sure,
had
it's
thought
too big
impossible,
to carry home.
capturing and analyzing samples of Devourer technology. Fascinating. His voice echoed across the fleet communications.
LTUHD.
These entities are basically living equations that solve for consume everything.
Vacuum.
But they have no protocols for dealing with opponents who change the math while the test is in progress. English Doc, Admiral Jackson requested. They are very smart, but not very flexible. They expect other species to follow
I had
logical
to
military
grab the
doctrine.
ball.
When we started using garbage
You
trucks
see
as
the ball
battleships and
is
asteroid miners as
inside.
weapons, their programming could not adapt fast enough. Fleet Commander Thossel pulled up the
Dude,
tactical
why do
analysis
you
of the
have to
battle.
put-
What he saw would be studied in
Why do
military
you have to
academies for
make that
centuries.
dog
The humans had not just
white?
won. They had fundamentally
Why
changed how the
don't you show
Devourers
the
thought about
whole
combat.
thing?
Instead of the careful, methodical
They
consumption
say they wanna
that had
be
destroyed so many
transparent.
civilizations, the Devourers had been
But then
forced to react to
half
human
of that
tactics.
dog is
And humans, it turned out,
white.
were very good at making up new tactics faster than
How
ancient
do we
cosmic
know
entities
that
could
we're
analyze them.
wishing in this?
The key, Captain Santos
know
explained
what?
to the fascinated Imperial officers,
Because they
was
might
treating them
put,
like any
like,
other engineering
some
problem.
fancy
They eat
ball
reality?
in the
Fine,
top,
we build new reality
and they
faster
have
than they can eat
another
it.
layer
They have cosmic
for the
powers?
shit thing.
Great, we have industrial equipment
And
and
we
too much
only
caffeine.
grab the shit one.
Emperor Vagstol arrived at the Nexus Point aboard the Imperial flagship just in time to witness the aftermath.
Right, it's
The sight that
such.
greeted him was unlike anything in his long career.
Why don't you put
Human
the
ships
whole
drifted
thing
through space in formations that defied
transparent?
military logic. Their crews apparently celebrating victory by broadcasting
Some
music,
kind of have a
exchanging
little
what they called
picnic
memes,
like that
and
to
conducting
make
impromptu
everyone
engineering
get a
discussions
cool
about how to
stuff.
improve their weapons for next time. Next time? The Emperor asked Ambassador Thexion. Yes, sir. The humans seem to assume there will be more cosmic horror encounters in the future and want to be better prepared. They are treating this as a learning experience. They want to fight more Devourers? Not exactly, sir.
Patrice.
They want to be ready for whatever comes next. Captain Rodriguez told me, and I quote, "The universe is a big place full of weird stuff. Some of it is probably going to try to eat us. We should be ready." The Emperor requested a meeting with the human leadership. Admiral Jackson's face appeared on the main screen, looking remarkably calm for someone who had just saved the galaxy with mining equipment.
Let's go.
Emperor
Chad,
Vaextul,
pray for me
Admiral
right
Jackson
now.
said with a slight nod.
Okay, now.
Hope you do not
pray
mind us
now.
borrowing your star systems for target
Come on.
practice. We cleaned up most of
We
the
need
debris.
a prayer.
Admiral Jackson, the Galactic Empire owes humanity a debt that can never be repaid. Name your reward. Territory, technology, membership in the Empire. Anything within our power to grant. Admiral Jackson was quiet for a moment, then smiled. That is very generous, Emperor, but we are good. We have our own thing going on. Surely there is something. Well, Admiral Jackson said thoughtfully, maybe we could work out some kind of mutual defense agreement.
come on,
You know, for next
guys.
time.
Let's-
Next
I
time?
wanna get
Sure, the universe is a
on.
big place. Something else is bound to try
I
to eat it
wanna
eventually.
get
When that happens, give us a call.
vacuum
We will bring the explosives. President Chen's voice joined the conversation. What Admiral Jackson is trying to say, Emperor? is that we would be happy to serve as the galaxy's emergency response team for existential threats. Think of us as cosmic problem solvers. You want to
Why
fight
is
cosmic
someone
horrors professionally?
dancing?
Among other things, President Chen
Hey,
replied.
she dancing.
We also
What
do
the
natural
fuck she
disasters,
get?
impossible engineering projects, and anything else that requires creative applications of explosives and stubbornness. Emperor
know what
Vax
she
considered
get.
this. A species that treated reality-eating entities as a minor inconvenience might be exactly what the galaxy needed for future crises. Very well, he said formally. The Galactic Empire hereby establishes the Human Emergency Response Protocol. When conventional methods fail and reality itself is threatened, we will call upon humanity. Sounds good, Admiral Jackson said. Just remember, we do things a little differently than most species. How differently? Put it this way, Emperor. Most civilizations try to understand their enemies before fighting them. We prefer to confuse our enemies while hitting them with large objects. And this works? You saw the results. The devourers are gone, reality is still here. And we have enough salvaged cosmic horror technology to keep our scientists busy for years. As the human fleet prepared to return to Earth, Ambassador Thexion filed his final report on the engagement. The document would become required reading for every diplomatic and military officer in the Empire. Analysis of human combat effectiveness. Humans approach warfare as an engineering problem rather than a military exercise. They do not seek to defeat enemies through superior force, but rather through superior adaptability. When faced with impossible odds, they do not despair. They innovate.
Oh, am I only
Recommendation.
getting number 8?
Never underestimate a species that considers existential dread a minor scheduling conflict. The humans have demonstrated that sometimes the best response to an uncaring universe is to refuse to care back, then fix the problem anyway. Additional note, human vessels departing the battle zone are broadcasting what they call victory music and sharing memes about their engagement with cosmic horror. Attached files contain examples, though I confess I do not understand why a picture of a cat with text saying, "Icon has cosmic victory," is considered humorous. 3 days later, as the human fleet arrived back at Earth, Dr. Patel published the first scientific paper on devourer technology. His conclusions revolutionized galactic understanding of reality manipulation, but his methodology notes were purely human. In studying entities that consume reality, the key is to poke them with instruments until they do something interesting. Then reverse engineer whatever happens. Standard scientific protocols assume the universe makes sense,
Oh,
which is
someone
clearly
get
not
a
always the
big
case.
one, so
The galaxy
they're
was
like,
safe.
what are they
Reality
got?
remained intact, and somewhere in the void between galaxies, ancient entities that had existed since the
Thank
dawn
you,
of time
Rob,
were having their
for the
first ever
egg,
strategy
egg,
meeting about how to
egg.
deal with opponents who treated cosmic horror as a source of engineering. Inspiration, Emperor Bagstol, reading reports from across his empire,
Guys.
noticed something interesting. For the first time in galactic history, civilizations were not just surviving cosmic threats. They were laughing at them. It seemed that human attitudes were contagious, and in the depths of space, if any new cosmic horrors were planning to threaten the galaxy, they might want to reconsider, because somewhere in a small solar system around an unremarkable star, a species of curious primates had learned that the universe could be scary. They had also learned that scary things were more fun when you hit them with exploding mining equipment. The galaxy was in good hands. Insane hands, but good ones. The universe, it turned out, had a sense of humor after all.